Wow. Yeah, Bishop Wright was right. For once in his life. He really was. It's pretty impressive. And maybe more than that for you. And I thank God for you. And for the lives you touch. And for the way you serve. In a variety of capacities. Thank God for you. God bless you. It really is. This is really a wonderful, just the one, and I thank you, Bishop Wright. I really do. And Ken and Leslie, and I don't know what Maggie is, and Maggie, but your whole team. It is really a privilege to be with them. We were all just together last week in New York at the church-wide staff in-house for 3 days. And so it's just good to be back with them now on their turf with their immediate community. And that's a real blessing. One of the great joys has been to see him grow and blossom and become the bishop of the church that he is, and your bishop, chaplain, your bishop. And that is a privilege, just to be able to see him. And I thank God for him and for his ministry and his devotion to those who are in the service, whether military, VA, federal institutions. He is committed to you, and that is high praise of you and of the work you do. And he continues to let us know in the House of Bishops of your ministry and the ways that it happens and the needs and the callings. And for that, sir, thank you, and thank God for you. Thank you. All right, now you know Carl, so you know he gave me an assignment. He chose the topic, not me, or Leslie, or one of y'all. But actually, it's right out. They knew well enough to know it. The title they gave me was Episcopal Identity and the Jesus Movement. And actually, I couldn't ask for a better title, subject matter to engage for a variety of reasons. One of which has to do with a particular cultural moment that we find ourselves in. And I don't know in any depth about the cultural atmosphere in the various places of military life, but I have seen suspicion because I know the general culture, and I'm staying here in the U.S. for the most part, and where I think we are as a culture, and maybe even more importantly, where we are as Christians and as followers of Jesus. Let me offer you a text. This is from the last discourse in John's Gospel, roughly chapter 12, or chapter 13, really, through 17, where you get John's kind of distillation of Jesus' teaching at the Last Supper. And it's the one where you get, he washes the feet early on, and then you get the high priestly prayer, chapter 17, kind of at the end of it. But midway through, in chapter 15, you get Jesus saying this. Remember, this is the Last Supper. He knows he's pretty much resolved to sacrifice his life. I mean, he's pretty much come to that conclusion. There's the wrestling in the Kidron Valley in John's Gospel, Garden of Gethsemane. I always have this image. It's a good thing Jesus was Jesus and I'm not, because I always have this image of if I had been in the Garden of Gethsemane, agony, Jesus sweating, oh no, Father, let this come fast from me, all that kind of stuff. If I had been Jesus, remember Peter, James, and John were over there sleeping, they fell asleep while Jesus is sweating over, do I sacrifice my life? Is this cause worth it? I mean, is this really gonna? Anyway, Jesus is sweating bullets, they're asleep. If I had been Jesus, I would have said, Lord, I got an idea. Rather than me, have you considered your servant Peter? Unfortunately, Jesus is Lord, and I'm not. But in the Last Supper, in John's Gospel, before he gets out to the Kidron Valley or the Gethsemane experience that precedes his getting arrested, he said this. Now remember, he pretty much is sure it's over. Pretty much. I don't know if he's sure, but pretty much. And this is what he says to his followers. by itself unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. Those who abide in me and I in them will bear much fruit. Because apart from me, you can do nothing. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Cut off from the deep root of the vine, the branches will wither and die. Jesus did at least two things at that Last Supper in John's Gospel, one of which I'll talk about now, the other of it with the homily. He emphasized the need for a deep and intimate, organic, living relationship with Him. And he said the key to the whole thing is the way of love. I'll do love tonight, this afternoon. Abide in me. Apart from me, you can't pull it off. There is, and I am just more, I'm an old dog now. I am more and more convinced from my own experience of myself and the experience of the church. And just a biographical note, I grew up in this church. I was born and bred in it. My daddy was an Episcopal priest, a Beretta-wearing Anglo-Catholic. He's from Baptist, but boy, when he converted, did he ever convert? And they were, my mother grew up Baptist as well, and she was the one that actually became the Episcopal, and then dragged him along with her. But she read C.S. Lewis and just fell in love with this way of being Christian. But I grew up in the Episcopal Church. By the time I came home, they were, well ensconced, if you will. And that has deeply influenced me and formed me, to be sure. But my grandmother on my mother's side was a dying little rock with North Carolina Baptist. And grandma was always whispering in my ear as a little kid. And the deeper roots of my spirituality, the outward and visible sign, is that Anglo-Catholic tradition that is very much a part of me. But the inward and spiritual grace is North Carolina Baptist. But anyway, but I'm very aware that where both of those traditions meet, the kind of classic Reformed Baptist, almost revivalist tradition, and the Anglican, even its Anglo-Catholic expression, where they both meet, is at the feet of Jesus. That Jesus is the key no matter what the religious tradition. That Jesus is the key no matter what the denominational affiliation. That Jesus is the key if it claims to be Christian. Now, I want to unpack that. That may sound innocent. And it's one of the reason for that is one of the reasons I've been emphasizing and inviting our church to engage no longer simply, to see itself no longer simply as the Episcopal Church, but to really conceive and understand ourselves to be the Episcopal branch. Hear the word branch? The Episcopal branch of the Jesus movement. I am the vine. You are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing. But can we look our world, because here we come. So anyway, that's a quick background, and I think I'm on solid ground when I say that when and where the church has erred profoundly, it has strayed away from its root in Jesus of Nazareth. It's almost a consistent passage, consistent in our history. And where I have strayed in my own life is the further I stray away from Jesus. Now let me come clean about that. I'm not just talking about an abstract Jesus. That's dangerous. I'm talking about the teaching Jesus, the
teachings of Jesus that we see in the gospel. I'm talking about the example of Jesus. And I'm talking about the living, risen, real deal Jesus, who is alive and ain't in the grave no more. That Jesus has the power to bring life where there's nothing but death, and to bring hope where there is nothing left but despair. But cut off from that Jesus, his teachings, his example, and his living spirit, cut off from that, the Christian enterprise will fail. The church will fail. I've seen it. Tap into that root, that core. That Jesus, the church will live even in persecution, and maybe especially in hard times. Nazi Germany. The rise of Hitler. The German Christians, you all know the history as well as I do. German Christians, very out the organized German Christian I'm talking about, not the average person. The organized church of Germany, Evangelical Church of Germany, capitulated to Nazism, its ideology, to the point where, remember that great picture of Bishop Mueller, or Archbishop Mueller in his black preaching gown with a swastika on it, where the church capitulated. This was not the first time in history. And part of that capitulation was the adoption of a natural theology that some of y'all remember back in seminary, where people like Karl Barth railed against the dangers of a mere natural theology, where it is just the abstraction of God, because the abstraction of God can be co-opted by man. And in Nazi Germany, that was done. And what's called the German Christian, that doesn't mean all the people, I'm not talking about all the people, but the official church of Germany had capitulated to the ideology of Arianism. And it was the Bonn Declaration, that you'll remember that, composed by Karl Barth, Bonhoeffer, oldest president, which said this, and I quote, "Jesus Christ, as he is attested for us in the Holy Scripture, is the one word of God which we have to hear and which we have to trust and obey in life and in death. We therefore reject the false doctrine as though the church could and would have to acknowledge as the source of its proclamation, apart from and beside this one word of God, any power, any figure, any truth." Now that sounds like a religious battle until you put it into the context of Nazi Germany. There, to declare that Jesus is Lord is to declare revolution. It is to declare true love of your country. It is to declare true love of country and family and world, but that has a source in the love of God first. You, as someone said last night, must live in the breach. You stand in the breach. But it's not just you. You actually are the pioneers who are showing the whole church that we stand in the breach. Better yet, rather than breach or gap, at the crossing. We stand at the crossing where Jesus was. Now in our time. Anyway, so I go with me, this is connected stuff. Let me move it forward just a little bit. I'm not good, I have to admit these good examples are not the most uplifting examples. Let me go from Nazi Germany to apartheid South Africa while we're on high. Some of you will remember the name Albert Nolan, who wrote the book Jesus Before Christianity. And some of the background, Nolan, I think he may still be alive. He's a South African Dominican priest and theologian. And he did a lot of writing in the 70s and 80s during the period when apartheid was reigning pretty powerfully in South Africa. And I mean, during the time after Stephen Biko and others had been killed, and this is before the world had noticed
Desmond Tutu and Mandela was still in prison. I mean, things were going downhill, and nobody knew where it was going to end. Was South Africa going to create a multicultural, pluralistic society where all of God's children would live together and brother and sister would live in peace, or would it degenerate into a civil war where the only color would be blood on the streets? And so Albert Roland, who was a theologian as well as a priest, he became troubled by the fact that he could see cultural Christianity in complicity with apartheid in South Africa. He said by silence sometimes and by local ideological rewriting of scripture, much of Christianity in South Africa, not all of it, there's always a witness, don't worry, God's always about witness. But much of cultural Christianity had been complicit and brought into apartheid. But he noticed the pattern. He said the pattern was that the cultural Christianity was distinctly silent on the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. That the actual teachings of Jesus were excised out. And just a generalized Jesus was brought in. And so he eventually did a study. He said, I'm going to go back to the New Testament. Let's go back to the origin. Let's go back to the Gospels. And he went back and did the hard exegetical work and went back and looked at the Sermon on the Mount. Went back to Matthew 5, 6, and 7. Went back to the Jesus who blessed are the poor and the poor in spirit. Blessed are that Jesus. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the compassionate. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst, that God's righteous justice might prevail in all. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the love of enemies. Blessed those who hurt you. Praise those who live. That's Jesus. Jesus who just loved. Jesus who got up in that synagogue in Nazareth and said, quote Isaiah, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives, recovery of the sight of the blind, to set at liberty all those who are oppressed, and to proclaim the jubilee year, the acceptable year of that Jesus. Jesus said you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. This is the first great commandment. The second one is just like it. You shall love your neighbor, even that neighbor you can't stand. Love your neighbor as yourself. On these two hang, hinge, depend, all the law and the prophets. Everything God, that Jesus, the King of love. And he said that Jesus is in fact into the equation of compromised cultural Christianity. Because that Jesus does not support apartheid. That Jesus did not support the ideology of Arianism. That Jesus did not support cultural complicity of slavery. That Jesus does not support the cultural complicity of putting women down. That Jesus does not support the, see where I'm going? I'm doing it now. That Jesus does not support excluding people because of who they are. No. That Jesus is not exclusionary, but revolutionary. That is Jesus. Now, you see, that is Jesus before Christianity domesticated. Right?
Yes.
Right? I remember how I took several courses in literature, not because I was interested in literature, but I wasn't a young woman who was really into it. So Dr. Ashley became my best friend. I said, hey, I'm in it, Miss Gerald, I'll read anything if I can sit next to her in class. But in spite of myself, I actually did learn something. I remember in Brother Damiano, the Grand Inquisitor. Remember, it's kind of set in the Reformation during the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. And remember, Jesus comes back and is in prison, and the Inquisitor is interrogating Jesus, and wants to know, why did you come back here?
He is the institutional church. And he wants to domesticate or by imprisoning the Jesus of the New Testament. That's what Albert Nolan discovered and realized. And then he made this recognition, and I quote, he said, the truth is, Jesus did not start an organization. He began a movement. Right. And if the organization serves his movement, it will have life. But if the organization makes the movement serve it will die. Abide in me as I abide in you. I am the vine. You are the branches. We can no longer afford to be simply the Episcopal Church. Our core identity is to be not the whole Jesus movement ourselves, but the Episcopal branch of the Jesus movement. And the truth is, again, this is not just a churchy thing I'm talking about. Cut off or separated from this Jesus, and I'm talking about the teaching Jesus. I'm talking about his teachings, his example, and his spirit. Cut off from that Jesus, we wither and die. It can't work. Cut off from the core, from the root. We can't make it. I mean, it's true in biology. Cut off from the root. The fruit's not going to make it. That's why we eat it. That was a joke. That was a joke. Move on. And there's there's an example of this, and I probably, members of my staff have heard me say this, but I think you see intimations of this in the New Testament. Now, I could be throwing me on what's in the text, but I don't think I actually am. But actually, that's what the sermon is every Sunday, going beyond what the text says. But anyway, if you look at the New Testament carefully, you actually see intimations of this. That there's a sense in which, apart from Jesus, the first followers really can't do much. They actually don't. In fact, they screw it up. Quite regularly. I mean, after we got to get the sign that the Holy Spirit did have something to do with the composition of the New Testament, because if human beings had controlled it completely, I guarantee you Peter would have censored a lot of that story. and they just want to run it out with the truth. I mean, you think about it. The first four disciples, remember Peter, Andrew, James, and John, they're the ones Jesus meets at the Sea of Galilee. You remember what they did for living, right? Peter, Andrew, James, and John did what for living? Fisher. Now, I defy you to show me anywhere in the New Testament where Peter, Andrew, James, and John, who were professional fishermen. This isn't just recreational fly fishing. These were professional trade union fishermen. I want you to show me one example where they ever caught one fish without Jesus showing them how to do that. It's not that. The New Testament understood it, trying to tell us something. Now, apart from him, these dudes, they did their own job. And then you get all these wonderful stories. Last Sunday's gospel was the one where they're arguing along the way about who is the greatest. I mean, what's going on there is they're jockeying for positions in the kingdom. That's really going on there. But it's fascinating that we don't do that when Jesus is not around. Right. See, when Jesus is not, when he shows up, then you notice how the gospel, I didn't actually get to preach it this way Sunday. When Jesus shows up in the picture, then he teaches them another way. Takes the child and puts the child in the midst of them and says, in my kingdom, in my way, the first will be last and the last will be first. Whoever will be here must be serving them all. We don't do it like the Gentiles. No. Separated from this Jesus, it doesn't work. But that's not the only one. One of my favorite stories is where James and John, the Zebedee brothers, in one version, in one of the synoptic gospels, comes to Jesus. They come up and the other disciples are around, and they say, Lord, now we heard you talk about this kingdom. And see, they're thinking that this is like the Democrats are taking over from the Republicans, or Republicans taking over the Democrats. So they figure, when your kingdom comes into power, we'd like a good job in the new administration. I got cousin Guido, who's really good with numbers. I think I'll be a good secretary of treasury. And my sister needs a job as well, and I'd like to be, a minister or something, and my brother would like to be minister or something. Well, the other disciples find out when they hit the roof. Now, that's bad enough that they're trying to get jobs where Jesus is talking about blessed are the poor in spirit, for they will inherit the kingdom of heaven. These dudes have no clue what he's talking about. And bad enough, James and John came to Jesus. That's in one version. In another version, in the synoptic, it's not James and John who come, it's send their mom. Yeah. That's about the word you can get. Get your mom to do your dirty work. It's just low down and dirty. We are not dealing with the A team of apostolic discipleship. And then that just goes on until we get to the Last Supper. And Simon Peter says, this tense moment, Jesus is agonizing and sweating, and Judas is plotting and trying to figure out how to get out of the room. And Peter senses something. He says, Lord, don't you worry about the thing. I got your back. Yeah, right. And somebody ain't Peter, they got your back. You better run backwards. I mean, they really don't get it. They are hurtful, and they just seem to fall apart. And then you begin to realize the deep wisdom in Jesus, the deep wisdom of God, how the Sophia is clearly embodied in him, and that God knew is no respecter of persons. And that God didn't call just man. God called Mary Magdalene and a widow and a good man. God called sisters. Because if God had not come on some sisters, Jesus one would have been hanging up there in that cross all by himself. Because the brothers except for that one disciple, they were all gone. And more than that, it was Mary Magdalene and the sisters who got up on that early Easter morning. They were the ones who went to Peter and the brothers were hiding out. And if you hadn't had some women disciples and hadn't had Mary Magdalene, who really is an apostle, a witness, who bears witness, if we hadn't had some sisters, we still might not know Jesus rose from the dead and think the Easter bunny is all we got. You really do it. In which the Gospels themselves play out the truth of this text. I'm the vine. You're the branches. Your life flows through me. For the very life of God flows through me to you. And I think we need this now in our time. I'm deeply concerned. This is not a partisan statement. Let me be real clear. I'm deeply concerned that, let me say it this way. Some years ago when I was still Bishop of North Carolina, this is maybe 10 years ago, members of the staff said, you need to get on Facebook. And I remember thinking, okay, like every other bishop, I have a million things to do, and I need something else, to add to the list. And so they talked me into it, and so we sat down and, got on Facebook. This is easily 10 years ago, and filled out, you fill out the information form, all that kind of stuff online, and your name, and my name, what's your birth date, and also that kind of stuff. Then we got to the one that said religious affiliation, and so I almost typed in Christian. And then I paused. Now this is easily 10 years ago. I paused. Not because I'm not a Christian. I love me some Jesus. Don't get it confused. But I paused because I realized if I type Christian and it spins out into the atmosphere, that word Christian has very often been co-opted by a kind of fundamentalism. Y'all with me now, church? Yes. Co-opted following by a way of being Christian that doesn't look anything like Jesus of Nazareth, co-opted by a way of being Christian that's not about the love of God, co-opted by, I'm not working, this is not partisan. This has got to do with left or right, Republican or Democrat. This has to do with Jesus. Co-opted by a way of being Christian that very often is hateful and mean and bigoted. That's not Jesus. That's not the King of love. St. Paul would say, we did not so learn Christ. I was part of a group that got a little controversy, got in a little bit of trouble. Not long ago called Reclaiming Jesus. And that group, the press kept trying to pigeonhole us into being an anti-Trump. And I kept saying that, no, this is not about President Trump or any president. This is about the values of Jesus of Nazareth. And we must reclaim them in the public sphere. A Christianity that claims to follow Jesus and does not care about immigrants is not following the way of Jesus. Now, I'm not talking about having all the solutions, but I am talking about the value of valuing every human being as a child of God. And Genesis said, made in the image and likeness of God, where Jesus said his eyes on the sparrow, and my grandma used to say his eyes on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Oh, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. I'm talking about that Jesus. And so a group of us came together, evangelicals, mainstream Protestant, and Roman Catholic. And we composed a statement called Reclaiming Jesus. And yeah, we got a little bit of trouble because one of the statements said, America first is theological heresy. Because only God is first. Jesus is our Lord. We love our country. I love this country. But the best way for me to love it is to love Jesus, my God, first. Then I know what love looks like. Truth is, we're living in a time where Christianity itself is being held captive and losing its way. And we will reclaim it. Not by new fundamentalisms, but by daring to recenter it and recenter ourselves on Jesus, who is the Christ, and his way, and his love, his goodness, his kindness. There's a wideness in God's mercy, like the wideness of the sea. The King of love, my shepherd is, whose goodness faileth never. Ride on, King Jesus. No one can hinder thee. That Jesus is our life, our Lord, our hope. And you are on the front lines who must bear witness to that Jesus and help especially the young 18-year-olds with whom you come in contact to discover anew, maybe for the first time, the Jesus who shows the love of God. Like that old hymn that used to say, love that will not let me go. I rest my weary soul in thee. I give thee back the life I owe, that in thy ocean depths, richer, fuller, I may ever be. That is the faith we have to share. And it is so Anglican. It is so Episcopalian that we so easily take it for granted. Every Sunday, there's a little reminder. It happens all the time, at least at the Eucharist. We read from
first lesson offered from the Hebrew Scriptures, and we sit down to listen. And then there may be a song. Sometimes stand up in the song, but generally we'll sit down. And then there's a second lesson, maybe from one of Paul's epistles, and we're sitting down. We're pretty comfortable. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm celebrating Mass. I kind of am relaxing during those times. I'm listening, but relaxing. But then the gospel comes. Then we read the teachings and see the example and imbibe the spirit of Jesus of Nazareth in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. And when that happens at Eucharist, the whole room gets up. Think about it. The whole room gets up. No comfortable sitting. Get up. The room gets up, and then the whole room, notice what happens. The whole room reorients itself to face the teaching, the example, the spirit of Jesus, the whole gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The whole room. And some folk, like Bishop Wright, incense. Sometimes they go acolytes carrying. I love it when you get like little kids on that big, and they got the gospel book, and the poor person reading the gospel got to look it out. You get these acolytes with these torches, and you're praying, they burn up their hair while you're doing that. Notice the whole room reorients itself around the teaching, the example, the spirit of Jesus, the gospel of the Lord. Praise you, Lord. Praise. Y'all realize what we're doing here? We're declaring that Jesus is Lord. Amen. That He is the standard and norm by which we live our faith, that His word of God is our way of life. Amen. That's the declaration. Every Sunday, every Episcopal Church where Eucharist is celebrated, we do it. Then we even get fancy because Episcopalians like to pretty stuff up. Oh, I can tell you some stuff about Carl Rags. I'll never forget when he was ordained deacon. I was there. I was there. Everyone else, because the order of deacons is the order of servanthood. And simplicity, we're in Franciscan place, simplicity. So all of the other deacons just have, white out and, red stole. But Carl wanted to write a stole and a gold Damiano. I said, such humility. But we even sometimes make it special because we have to eat it if we got one to read it. And then we print it up, not just an ordinary gospel book, but we put gold leaf on top of it. Yeah. And lift it high. Because it's teaching, the example, the spirit of this Jesus, He's our Lord. And I was there, I'm going to stop, we need to have time to say that. I remember when I was at my first primate meeting. And it was a tough meeting. I had to admit, people started saying, you're a primate. I said, well, yeah, I've been one for most of my life. And I jokingly, I'll refer to this, you need to edit this part out. When we gather, I call us the Anglican Anthropological Association. But I heard on a first primate meeting, it was a pretty intense meeting because, as you know, our church, we had changed the marriage canon to make marriage inclusive. We were widening that, but that caused some consternation, and I understand that. And respect that. So anyway, the Reverend Canterbury had gathered us at Canterbury Cathedral for an extraordinary meeting of the primates of the churches of our communion. And I think we came out in a good and healthy place in the end. We had to accept some consequences. We were not kicked out of the meeting or anything like that. We had to accept some consequences for our action. But anyone who knows, if you engage in civil disobedience from the majority of you, you have to accept the consequences. Dr. King loves that.
Mama Gandhi taught us that you must accept the consequences of your decision while maintaining the integrity of your position. But you can't say, no, I'm not going to take the consequences if you take your whole position. So we had to, do a little something. But anyway, so we had that. And yet the other primates who disagreed with us were able to express their displeasure with what we had done, and yet not put our relationship. That's mature leadership. That actually was a mature, so while it was painful and difficult, now I say all of that to say, it took us 5 days to get to that. It did. It took like 4 or 5 days to get to that conclusion. It was hard work. In the midst of that, we were given a gift, a symbolic gift, that stood in our midst. It was a part of the closure of Gregory the Great. Wow. Who was the Pope who sent Augustine to England, to Britain, who evangelized the English. It was a gift unknown. Pope Francis and the order that watches over it sent it as an expression of fraternal care and prayer. But it was more than that. It was a reminder of our origin. That we, in the English Anglican tradition of Christianity, had part of our origin from Gregory sending Augustine. And Gregory had his origin from a Peter and a Paul. And they had their origin from one named Jesus. The closer we get to our origin, our core, our mama, the womb from whence we come, the closer we get to Jesus, then the branches will find life in the vine. We are not just the Episcopal Church. We are the Episcopal branch of the Jesus movement.